welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be how I do my foundation when I want to have a flawless face. As you can see, my skin is not good at all. You can see I have lots of redness and lots of breakouts and stuff. My skin hasn't been this bad since high school, and it's kind of pissing me off a little bit. So I'm going to show you how I cover that and how I cancel out redness. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just prime my face. I use 3 different primers because I'm crazy. So the first one I'm going to be using is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Face Primer. I'm really grown to love this primer and the glow that it gives. So I just rub it in between my fingers and then just put it on my face. So you can see that this gives my skin a nice glow. Alright, let me get this is my towel that I wipe my hands off and my makeup brushes off on. Alright, so I'll put that in there. And then I'm going to be using the Baby Skin Pore Eraser, I think it's called. Yeah, Instant Pore Eraser. It just looks like that. And I'm just going to take just a tiny amount. Can you see? Just like that much. And then I'm just going to put it in between my fingers, and then I'm just going to focus this on the center of my face. Mostly just on my nose and around this area because that's where I get texture. So this will also make you very matte. So I'm just kind of blending it out this way. Okay, and then the last primer I use is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I love this stuff. This really hydrates my skin. I have combination skin, but where my dry patches are, which is around here, they're desert dry. They are dry. So I really like this to help hydrate my skin as well. I like using this on top of the smoothing primer because it hydrates and then it smooths at the same time, so it's great. Love it. So I'm just gonna hold it this far. I hate doing this part. I don't know why. I just breathed some of that in. As you can see, I take a bath in it, so. Okay, so once that is dry, I'm going to use my foundation. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the color 110 Porcelain. This is a medium coverage foundation. I believe, I haven't done a whole lot of research on it, but this is for normal to oily skin. Since I have combination skin, that's why I use a bunch of primers, because I don't really have oily skin. It's mostly just like I said, combination skin. So I use all those primers to help hydrate my skin. I used to use the dewy and smooth version of this, but this is way too orange on me and it does not match me at all. So that's why I use the matte and poreless version. So I'm just gonna pour out some, and for some reason I always over pour on videos, so I just pour it out on the back of my hand, and then I use a Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, just like this. You can find it at Ulta or I think Target or something like that. And basically, I'm just going to use this brush just to paint on the foundation to get the coverage that I want. This is something I learned from Nicole Guerrero. And yes, I know this is a lot of makeup. I get it. But when you're me and you have my skin, you need lots of coverage. So I'm just going to paint on however much coverage I need. Sorry that I keep like flicking my hair, that's really annoying. But it's in my face. So I'm just gonna paint on all the coverage that I need. And then I'm gonna take the Real Techniques Expert or Miracle Complexion Sponge or whatever it's called, and I'm just going to blend it out. This is what stops me, like you see how much foundation I put on. This is what stops me from looking cakey. You can still tell that I'm wearing makeup, obvi. But it doesn't look as cakey, and I know I look really funky right now. It'll all work itself out. Did I mention this is damp? I think so. My memory is not the greatest. So, anyways, I just work this all around my face, just soaking up any extra product so that it doesn't look cakey. And I use the flat side of this, by the way. Sometimes I'll use this side and I'll go like this because these are like almost two different textures for different uses. So yeah, if you didn't know that, now you know. So like I said, this is a medium coverage. You can still see some redness, some of my pimples. You're not ever going to get rid of the bumps. You can't hide that unless you use Photoshop. I'm going to be using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the color Light 1 Chantilly. Chantilly, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. I love this concealer so much, but it's $29. But what are you going to do? So I don't have a light hand when it comes to concealer, but I just drag this down in a triangle motion and fill it in. No really rhyme or reason for anything. That was just like one little application, so I'm going to do the other eye like that. So I'm very heavy-handed when it comes to... So I'm also kind of highlighting, but I can't really highlight because I am so pale. But I'm just taking this on my chin, my cupid's bow, my nose, and on my forehead. And then we're going to blend that out again with the Real Techniques sponge. I love this thing. You have no idea how much I love it. I don't think anyone will understand how much I love it. So I'm just going to drag that on top of my eyelids. That's going to help prime for eyeshadow. And I'm using the pointed side, by the way. And I'm just kind of like squeezing it so I can really get underneath. And you can see that helped cover up a lot of my breakouts too. It should look like. Covered up a lot of acne, and then we're going to cover it up even more with some powder. But first, I want to set this and like immediately because I crease immediately after I put concealer on. So I'm just going to take the Anastasia contour kit, and I'm going to take this color Vanilla and a little bit of the Banana, but mostly Vanilla. And I'm just going to put this underneath my eyes. I'm sorry if you can hear my neighbor like doing something, like mowing their lawn or something. I apologize. And then I'm also going to set my eyelid so that eyeshadow that we're gonna put on later ain't going nowhere. So I put like a generous amount on it, and then I just like work it. So this isn't gonna add any coverage, it's just gonna kind of add an illumination to the face. And then I'm basically just setting it where I put that concealer. So forehead, down the nose, cupid's bow, chin, under the eyes, on the eyelids, etc. I don't really care if my face feels powdery or not. But wearing this much powder will transfer if you like hug people, so like don't hug people. That's all I'm going to do for that. And then I'm going to take a powder with a little bit more, to add a little bit more coverage. I'm going to be using the Revlon Photo Ready powder in the shade 10 Fair. And this is an e.l.f. powder brush. I'm just going to like swirl it in there, tap off any excess, and then just set the rest of my face. This is going to help conceal any more redness. And it's also going to help contour and blush and highlight and stuff blend better. So just like this. Make sure you get it around the nose. And you can see that helps cover it up even more. And I really, really focus on those areas. And then sometimes what I like to do is I just like to go back in with the Real Technique sponge thing and just go over it lightly. There's something in my eyeball to take away. It's not gonna, I've done this before, it's not going to take away any of the coverage that we just did. But it is going to also help with the cakiness. So you could also use green color correctors if you want. I kind of stopped doing that. It just started annoying me. So, yeah. I'm just going to set my eyelids a little bit better. And then voila. So that is how I get a that is how I get a clear, flawless kind of face. This is what I do most of the time when I put makeup on because my skin is so bad. I don't believe in light foundations. I like the full coverage shit. So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!